Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juce, and today we're going to be talking about a few different things that have arrived for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. They're all third party, but I guarantee you won't want to miss this. If this is your first time here, be sure to smash that subscribe button, give us a like, and if you want to stay up to date on the latest that we have going on the channel, head on over to our website at masterthegamerpg.com and sign up for our newsletter. It's at the bottom of the homepage. The very first product I want to mention is called 5e Hardcore Mode. This is by Runehammer Games, formerly known as Drunkens and Dragons here on YouTube. And Hankerin over there made this a while back. This is something that takes your 5e game up to the next level. Now, what I mean by that is if you like gritty Dungeons and Dragons, maybe you're an old school fan, maybe you just like the fact that, you know, combat should feel thrilling and should be very difficult. It should be something to succeed and survive a combat, even as you start to level up. Then you're going to want this book. Now, it's not very much. You can pick it up over on DriveThruRPG. The link is down in the description. I can say there's a lot of great things in this. You get optional rules. You get a lot of things in here that are going to make you really appreciate surviving in combat. There's a lot of optional rules in here for making your games grittier, more difficult. Playing with rules like this in combination with some of like the Goodman Games adventure modules and stuff will probably make your games feel like old school games. Now, again, a lot of people will say D&D5e is for superheroes. Your players are going to be extremely powerful and just cruise through everything. And this will prevent that. Now, again, bring this up at session 0. Use some of the things in here. You got things in here like rolling stats, going straight down the line. What it means if you have low stats, maybe how to role play that. There's a table in here for that. Maybe your character is a little bit older. Maybe he's just setting out to adventure and he's only in his teens. A variety of things. Maybe he's afflicted by a spell. Just really cool things like that. Now, in this book, again, there's a lot of great stuff. However, there's this one thing I just don't like. It's basically like a save point option. That I probably would have left out of here, but everything else in here is really good. There's even an adventure in here. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, if you want grittier, harder combats, then I think you're going to want this book. It's going to make you really appreciate, again, surviving those harder encounters. It's going to create tension that wouldn't normally be there if you were using the stock 5e rules. Again, a lot of optional rules in here that you can discuss with your groups. And I think even if you just want to try a couple sessions, maybe a one-shot, or give it a shot for a campaign every once in a while, I don't think you can go wrong with this book. And worst case scenario, you're going to get a lot of ideas. Maybe you only take some of the stuff out of here. But either way, it might help you make your campaigns even more interesting moving forward. Now, the next package that arrived was from my good friend Mark Tassin over at Mechanical Muse. It is a local company here out of Michigan. This was something that I've been interested in ever since I saw that they did a Kickstarter for it. And that was quite a while ago. I've known Mark for a few years. I've watched him speak in seminars at Grand Con Gaming Convention. I've had the privilege of, knowing him again for maybe 5 or 6 years now. And great guy and just a wealth of knowledge. When I interviewed him recently, I did not have these products yet. I had the PDF versions, was waiting on the physical products, and the physical products finally arrived. And I'm talking about Ataltus. Now, this world that he has created, and even like all the rules he's created, is phenomenal. You're going to find in this world that it's kind of a dark setting. To me, it feels very inspired by old school gaming. There's just a lot of things in this that are going to inspire roleplay and campaigns in your world. Now, 2 of these books are setting books, The Heroes of Thornwall and The Defenders of Dunbury Castle. You're going to be able to, again, play from a hamlet in the one where there's a darkness and evil that's rising, a lot of creatures to fight in that area, and the keep is not sending help to this town. So you're going to have to rescue them. There's an adventure in there, but it's a good sized book with just tons of information about this small hamlet. It's got information about the tavern. It's got information about the people of this town. All sorts of great things that are in that book. Now, the other book, a lot of great information about the duchy and everything there. And again, there's just a ton of hooks in this that I could see running multiple campaigns in this area. In fact, earlier today I was talking to my wife about playing in this setting. That's how enthused I am about it. And I have a ton of setting books. So when a setting actually captures me like this, and for me to start talking about it with my wife, you know it's good. The Adventurer's Guide is something that isn't necessary for your groups. However, it's got a lot of world information. It's got a timeline in there of how things have transpired. A lot of information that's going to be helpful to players and game masters. Again, I think that's a really good book. I'm excited to dive in and read it page by page. Again, I get a lot of setting books and I've read a lot, but this setting really has me captivated. There's a lot of rules that have been added to the game to make it more interesting, such as overcasting, and you have divine inspiration. So when you have inspiration, you can call on the gods to do special things. There's a ton of tables in the Game Master's Guide that if you just want to take inspiration to add to your characters for something else, there's these tables that are amazing, like what was it you used to do as a child? What's your greatest fear? All these things that are going to shape your characters that I think are fantastic. You get extra classes and lineages and cultures in the player's handbook, and you're adding on to some of the steps of creating a character by adding these cultures and things like that that are tied to Ataltus. The maps, the artwork, everything in these books is gorgeous. They're really well put together. You can see the artwork here looks amazing. It's consistent throughout. It all resembles this. It doesn't seem like there's anything in here that doesn't belong in the book. It's very consistent. And overall, it's just a great setting. It talks a little bit about the currency, and it gives you ideas of how much a silver is worth, how much a copper, a gold, in relation to like what we would think of our currency, and things like that, which I think is actually very helpful. There's a lot of items and equipment in the books. There's, again, like I said before, really awesome optional rules that you can use even outside of the setting in your own stuff. So do you need this, to play in Ataltus? Not necessarily. You could just play with your own D&D rules mixed with the setting, or you could do the opposite and take some of these optional rules, pull them into your own games, whether you're playing in Forgotten Realms or you're playing in your homebrew worlds. I think you're going to get a lot of value out of these books. The monsters are very interesting. A lot of them are common known monsters too, but there's a lot of really cool things in there. There's a lot of fun monster type of races you can play as well, from a sprite to an Orog. Again, you can play a variety of creatures and characters you would not normally be able to play in 5e. So it brings a lot to the table. If this is something you are interested in checking out, head on down to our Drive-Thru RPG link below. You can help support the channel. It does help us out quite a bit. We are always buying new equipment, but ultimately it does not cost you anything extra to purchase from our links. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. This was Master the Game. I am Juce. Game on.